Okay, hey everybody. I hope that you have this here. This is the section you're going to be needing to use tonight, and it's on the metric side. So one of the great things, it's either we're going to multiply or divide by 100, 1,000, or 10. Here, using the liters to milliliters, multiply or divide by 1,000, and then below multiply or divide by 1,000 using the kilograms to grams, grams to milligrams. The only where it changes is when we're looking at length, centimeter and millimeters, and we looked at the meter stick where we saw that. The only difference is we didn't have 1,000 meter sticks in the classroom to make 1 kilometer, which is, a little bit more than a mile. Um, so anyway, we're working on this part. Remember, it's going to be multiply or divide. So we're going from big to small. We multiply. We go from small to large. We divide. And here it's going to be simply just moving those decimals. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a few of those so that you can get an idea of it. I won't do all of them. That way you can at least start practicing on that. If you did not get this, go ahead and pause the video so that you can write these down and you will have this with you at home. This you'll be using on STAR Test in May. You're going to be using this on your unit assessment. You'll use this all the time. You'll also get this in 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So this will always be part of the math testing. So please use it. That goes along with this section here when you have to find the area, the perimeter, and the volume as well. So that's there for you. All right, let's look at this first one. So on the first question, I think most of you had gotten it, but just in case, we're at 350 centimeters, and this is going to be equal to how many meters? All right, so I'm going to look over and be real careful of what you're looking for. It says centimeters, so underline, make sure that you're underlining. You have centimeters, and you're going to meters. Now, is there a centimeter and a meter? Remember, that means that we're dealing with length. So I have my centimeters and my meters. So I have 100 centimeters equals to 1 meter. So I'm going to go ahead and create my input-output table. So because this is given, my given information is going to go first. So I have my centimeter. And this is going to be convert to, this is my rule. And I'm going to convert to meters. Or it's 1M. All right, so here I know that it's 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. I'm going from small to large. I'm going to divide. And here I know I'm going to divide because 100 divided by 100 equals 1. Or check in your work, 1 times 100 equals 100. So you'll just reverse that. It's the inverse of it. Okay, so in class today, we went through here that we said that if we were going to be dividing, let's see, I'll put it here. I'm going to divide. I'm going to move the decimal to the left. Okay. And so in class, I think I did it. I'm not sure if I did it to the first period class, but I did do it for second and third. So those of you that in Miss Martinez's class, I don't think I showed you this, but go ahead if you need to make yourself place value chart. That's really helpful. Remember, here's your decimal here. This is ones, tens, hundreds, and then you have 1,000. So this is 1,000, and then you have 10,000. All right. So now I am given 350 centimeters, right? So there you go, right there, 350 centimeters. So I'm going to write this here. I see that I have 2 zeros. So I'm just going to simply move my decimal. So I'm going to place those numbers over here. I have 300, which is going to go, the 3 is going to go into the 100 place value. The 5 is in the tens place value, and then the 0. Because I'm dividing, I'm going to move my decimal to the left. So I'm moving it this way. Again, I have 2 zeros here. Because I'm dividing it, I'm going to move 1, 2. So my decimal is now going to be here. So that means that 350 centimeters is equal to, so we can have the 3 meters and a half. So we can say 3 and 5/10 meters. So you can write it that way. You can write 3 meters and 0.5 or 5/10 centimeters because it's 3.5. So either which way, whichever way makes you feel more comfortable. So when you're doing the metrics, it's really easy. Just do your place value charts, place the numbers there, move the number of zeros that you have that you're dividing. Okay, so let's go to number 2. Number 2 says that you have 4,000 milliliters, and this is, we're talking about capacity. So this is that liquid, right? Equals some sort of liters. And again, we talked about, oh, wow. We always say, oh, could you just pick up a 2 liter of Coke or Diet Coke or Pepsi or Mountain Dew or whatever it is. But we never say, hey, can you get me 64 ounces of milk or 32 ounces of water? But we do it with Cokes, and I'm not quite sure why but that's that whole concept. If you're selling it by the liters, then you're going to always be thinking liters. So now I'm going to come back over to my sheet, and I'm looking at, because I know it's liters, I always think of liquid, and it's in the middle part. So I know that there's 1,000 milliliters. You see that ml to 1L. So here's my ml to my L. Okay, so I need to, and if this is getting confusing, just write down what is my given. I'm given milliliters, ml, and what am I going to convert it to? Convert means to change, remember? So I'm going to have my rule, and I'm going to change it to liters. So I said that there is going to be 1,000 milliliters to 1 liter. I'm going from small to large, so I'm going to divide. I also know that if I divide, I'm sorry about that, divide 1,000 by 1,000, it's going to equal to 1. And I know this because if I do the opposite, 1 times 1,000 equals 1,000. So since I know that, I have my 4,000 divided by 1,000. And of course, some of you have already figured out the answer. But just in case, let's go ahead and fill out that place value chart. Makes a lot of noise. So here I have 1,000. So this is going to be 1,000, comma, 100, 10, ones, decimal point, and I'm going ahead and drawing out those 3 dashes on the side so that I can go back and start refreshing my brain over the tenths, hundredths, and 1,000ths. So I don't forget when I have to go through and comparing decimals, I can already create this. So this is very helpful. It takes you back into that review. All right, so now I'm going to have 4,000. I'm dividing it by 1,000, so I need to move it over 1, 2, 3 spots. So here's my decimal, 1, 2, 3, and my decimal go here. So now the answer is 4. And I also know that 4 times 1,000 equals 4,000. So 2 equals 4. So I get number 4. Number 4, I have 9 meters, there's that 1 m. Make sure that you look for that 1 m, 9 meters equals, all right, I have a double M, millimeters. Those are tiny, tiny. Remember when we were talking about, and I told every class that when we had the little thousands and we were putting them on the meter stick, that those little thousands, the width of it are the size of a millimeter. So now I'm coming back over to my sheet. I have my mm, but I need to go to the m. So I have to go 1, 2. So I'm going to make 2 jumps or 2 input-output tables. So there is 10 millimeters. If you need to get verification, looking on the side, you have the centimeters. 0 to 1 is 1 centimeter. Look at these 10 little hash marks, right? Those are the little millimeters. Those are the little tiny, itsy bitsy bitsy little cutie little hash marks. Okay, so those are millimeters. So I have 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. All right, so now let's go ahead and see. I cannot change. This is what's given. So if you need to write the word given, write that word given. I'm given meters. And so here I need to go from meters to centimeters first. So I can write up here change to centimeters. Okay. And then I have to look at my rule. I saw that for every 1 meter, I'm looking right here, for every 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. And we saw that on the meter sticks, there is a total of 100 centimeters. So we saw that today. Now, how do I get from 1 to 100? Okay, so now I'm multiplying. Remember, there's only 2 rules, multiply or divide. So I'm going to multiply by 100. Still going to move my decimal, but now I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So when we multiply, I'll put it down here. Move decimal to the right. Remember, when we are going from big to small, it's going to take more tiny ones to fill the big one. So that's why that number gets larger. So we're going to multiply that out. It's going to take more centimeters to fill this meter stick. All right, so here I'm given 9 meters. This is what's given, 9 meters. I'm going to multiply that by 100. I can easily see that that's 900. If you wanted to put it down on the place value chart, hundreds, tens, ones. So I'm going to just label 100, 10, ones, decimal point, tenths, hundredths, and these are simply going to be where I put the zeros, thousands. Okay. Now I'm going to write the number 9. There's only one digit to represent the number 9. And I have 2 zeros here. So I'm going to place those here. My decimal is here, and I'm going to move it to the right, 1, 2, and that's where I get my answer, 900. Now that I know it's 900 centimeters, then I'm coming over here because we're not done yet. We said it was going to take 2 because I can't go to millimeters right away. So I have my centimeters. So now I have my centimeters here. My 1 centimeter is going to be equal to 10 millimeters. So let's see how many that's going to be. So now I have, this is what's given. I guess I can do it right here. So is this given? My centimeters. This is my rule because this is what I'm going to convert. And I'm going to convert to the millimeters right here, my double M's. Now I have 900. Oops, what I should not have done. Oh, I don't even have any white out. I should have created. Uh-oh, what happened? It went blank. This went dark.